Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Reality Is, where words do come to life. Yes, they do. All right. So, Congress reaches deal on 900 billion COVID relief package. And the question we all should be asking, what took you so long? And then the next question we all should ask is, did you do enough? And the next question we should make a statement by, is it really going to be a help? Is it going to make a dent? Because it took them so long to come up with a solution, and only because their hands are forced to have that solution. I believe that's what it is. And so they probably figure if they come up with the stimulus package, that we will forget all the stupidity the Republicans did. Now you all, Mitch McConnell and all you all are expecting a pat on the back for something you should have been doing a long time ago. And when you really look at what you're doing, you're really not doing a lot. You're not. You're going to $600 per person based on income. People have been out of work since March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. That's 9 months. And so you think $600 is going to help, because a lot of these landlords are still not letting some of their tenants stay without paying their rent. And they're probably harassing them, even though you all say the light and the gas for some cities and some states may be on holdback. But because you all waited so long to step in to assist people who have been sitting hungry and hopeless for over 6 months, because you all getting your money, your checks are still full and coming faithfully, and then you sit and you play with other people's lives. I don't understand. And then you expect that we as constituents should give you all a pat on the back. What we should do is give you a slap upside your head, because that's what you need. It shouldn't have took that long for this. Businesses have closed down because you all have hesitated for something that nobody had no control over. You act like these businesses had control over what we're sitting in right now. A lot of people want to work, but they can't because the money does not meet the need. They can't. They have kids they have to stay home with because they're doing virtual learning. But you all don't think about this. You send all the tax money to the corporations and they make all the money, and then they act like they broke and don't want to pay their employees properly while they're helping to keep their companies afloat. Amazon, 25 billion in rental assistance, and an extension of the eviction moratorium. But how many landlords are going to follow this? And how many landlords have already pushed tenants to the street? And how many homes will go into foreclosure? Because once you get behind, how do you catch up? $600 is no money. There was a post today that broke down to $600. That's $5 a day. Meat costs more than $5. A box of cereal is almost $5. So how are you all really helping? You're not helping. Not at all. And so you go on. I'm looking at the article, and you're going to extend the unemployment. You're going to add an extra $300. And again, same thing with unemployment. If I'm already behind, if I'm already robbing Peter to pay Paul, How do I catch up? How do I catch up? If I'm 6 months in debt, 6 months already, how do I catch up? Now, I've been out of work since March. And none of the programs that you all have said you offered, even your lovely governor with this rental assistance program, I still have yet to see it manifest. That was back in July. We're in December now, and I haven't seen none of that manifest yet. So if the government is sending states money for rental assistance, when will we see it? We ain't saw the last rental assistance funds. So what happened to that? And it's not like nobody don't want to work. We would love to work. But there is nothing out here except for restaurant jobs. And restaurant jobs does not pay rent. Don't pay car note. It don't pay mortgages. And I don't think you all consider that. So you want some pats on the back? You want some kudos for a good job? You don't get none, because you should have been fixing this a long time ago. You sit on stuff until it gets out of control, and then you think we're supposed to be happy with your decisions, and it's not. And it's all because you all want to fight one with another without considering the needs of the people. Your families are not hurting. Your medical is not affected. Nothing is affected by you. Nothing whatsoever. And so now you want to give money for small businesses, but a lot of small businesses have already closed because they couldn't afford to stay open. They didn't have the support that they needed. They didn't. And then the loans that they're getting to try to maintain the little stuff that they can maintain, once we open back up, do you know how hard it's going to be to catch up? Because once you get so far behind and in debt, it's hard to catch up. Then these banks are going to start coming for property, because a lot of these people put a hardship and they push their mortgage back on the back end. And so where's the protection for that? Where's the protection for that? So you thinking at the right now, but what about the long range goal? What about it? So gas bills are going to be extremely high once they go back to pay them. Light bills are going to be extremely high. So you think this $600 is really supposed to make a difference? Unemployment for every 2 weeks is $800. That's $400 a week. Y'all asses make more than that in a day. But you want to nickel and dime the constituents, and we supposed to be okay with that. But yet and still, you want us to live off of $800 every 2 weeks. Who can live off $800 when you got rent, when you got mortgage, when you got gas, you got light, you got a car note, you got car insurance, you got to pay groceries, you got a cell phone bill, you got insurance. And right now, a lot of people don't have medical insurance because they can't afford to pay it out of pocket. So when you talking about looking out for our benefits, Mitch McConnell, are you really looking out for our benefits? Are you looking for a pat on the back for the crumbs that you trying to feed us with? Because you all haven't done nothing. $5 a day? $5? Hell, a McDonald's meal costs more than $5. Parking is more than $5. So you get no pat on the back. You get no kudos. You get none of it. You all don't deserve it. You don't. And I keep saying over and over, why do we have elected officials? Because you all look out for yourselves and big companies and corporations more than you look out for the people who have the needs. There are a bunch of homeless people that's living on the street. There are a lot of veterans that's living on the street. And you know why? Because we pushed them to that point. They have to pick and choose what they can and cannot. Do I feed myself, or do I keep a roof over my head? Who wants to go hungry, and who wants to live outside? United States is supposed to be the richest country. But from where I'm sitting, what I've seen, what I've heard, and what we continue to hear, we are the poorest country. We don't take care of the people that live here. We spend our money somewhere else before we spend it on the ground that those individuals that need it the most. And it's sad. but it's true. We don't care not about the people here. We don't care about people that go and fight for this country. We don't care. We quickly throw away people. And at the same time, you all want to run your resumes. As I've said 1,000 times before, you run your resumes for what? You haven't done anything that's impactful, that we can see, that makes a difference, that allows us as constituents to breathe. People are dependent on Link. They're dependent on whatever crumbs that you provide. And a lot of these individuals, people may say, oh, you don't want to work. It's not about where people don't want to work. It's that there's no job out there that's feasible enough. Companies are struggling, so they say. But the executives are getting a bonus. They getting paid their six-figure salaries. They got stock options. Even though the stocks may not be up to par, but they are cushioned enough. Your dumb president, your ex-one, fixed it so most big companies save in the tax. They got billions of dollars, but yet and still you nickel and dime the employees. So you think this little package that you all pass is supposed to make us do cartwheels up and down the street? It doesn't. It doesn't make us do no cartwheels because there's no money. When you really break it down, the second, the minute, the hour, the week, the month, you ain't doing nothing for us. You're not. This is crumbs. That's all it is. Crumbs. It is the bare minimum. And this should have been done a long time ago. But your prideful asses didn't want to do it. Because you all Republicans were some punks and y'all was scared of number 45. He getting his money. He got his money. Him and his family. And I can't wait to see how much he spent while he was in office and you Republicans allow it to be. While you sit up here and you cry out, he won the election, he did this, he did that. This is a bunch of bull crap. And this is why we as constituents don't trust y'all. Your words have no value. They carry no weight. Because you all don't think about nobody but yourselves. That's it. And some of you other ones probably act like you care, but do you really care? Because your household is not affected. You're not affected. You sit in these chambers with your suit and your ties and your dresses, and you make decisions on people's lives that can be very detrimental to their lives. And at the same time, you're saying you're being helpful, and you're not. You're not being helpful. You calculate everything I said on that list. Everything, mortgage and rent. And you tell me, does unemployment meet the need? Does your little extra $300, will that make a difference? It doesn't. It doesn't. It might keep somebody off somebody's back for a little while. But here is where you all miss the mark. Because when you push a person in the corner of trying to figure out how to survive, they will survive by any means necessary. And what you all don't know, that will take your crime up. Now, when people can't get it from one way, they'll get it another. And you set people up for failure with your dumb decisions because you all think you know it all, and you don't. And you don't listen to the voice of the people. You listen to that stupid person in your head and say, well, they can hold off. No, they can't. You're about 4 months late. You should have been done this 5 months ago. And rental assistance, Priska, I ain't seen a dime. And I applied for it in July. And I haven't seen nothing. So if the federal government is giving rental assistance again, how will we know if we will see that money or not? Like those frontline workers supposed to receive that extra money, and a lot of companies didn't give it to them because they lied and said they didn't receive it, and they did. So where are the checks and balances? Who's going to make sure that this money is distributed like it should be? So for me, you get no pats on the back about this stimulus check, this plan you have come up with, because there are millions of people that's out of work. There are millions of people that don't have health insurance. And there are millions of families out here who's suffering right now. And they're trying to figure out how they're even going to provide for their kids for Christmas. And you all sit on y'all asses and took your time to make this decision. Shame on you. That's all I'm saying. All right, I'm done. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can know when I upload other videos. And think about it, people. Think about it. These are your elected officials who's making decision on your life. That's all I'm saying. It's time for us to wake up. Wake up. Let your voices be heard and not silent.